Now, more Texas Business Radio
with Matt Register and Jay Curry.
And we're back. Hello, Texas. Welcome back to Texas Business Radio. We're talking big data. We're talking all kinds of technology. We've got some interesting things going today, and this segment is going to be a dandy. I have in the studio with me George Walden, partner, stepping in as one of the hosts. George, thanks for joining us.
Well, I'm looking forward to this. I mean, we're going to hear something today about information lifecycle management. You know, the energy industry has seriously bought into smart instrumentation. It means they're measuring everything. The problem is there's a lot of data being collected out there, and the systems are simply not being integrated. So we're going to be talking to a gentleman today who will talk about how those systems become integrated.
It's going to be a dandy. Big data again. We love that. It's everybody needs to find out more about it. Before we get started, let me remind everybody that you go to texasbusinessradio.com and everything's there. I don't need to say anything more. texasbusinessradio.com. It's all in color. Everything's there. That's what you want to do. So put down your pens, put down your pads, and just relax. Now, if you just got us into tweet, we monitor hashtag TBR. We love to hear from you. And if you want to call in with a question, we have our famous 24-hour hotline. That's right, anytime, 3 o'clock in the morning. Matt has that red phone right by his bed. He's waiting for your call. We're going to get you the answer. We'll get it online for you, and we'll get it into the program. So that number is 844-814-8144. You don't need to remember it because you can go to texasbusinessradio.com, right? All right, so let's get started. This is going to be fun. We have Wout Last, who is the CEO of Hint, an oil and gas kind of data collection. Walter, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, great being here. Thank you.
Tell us, what is Hint? What's this all about?
Yeah, Hint is a consulting company and software integration company active in oil and gas and petrochemical, down and upstream. And we are connecting the dots actually from the measurement instruments in the field up to the allocation system in the business layer, and from the business layer back to the reservoir and the shareholders. That's what we do.
Okay. And it's really measurement specials, collecting data on equipment.
Yeah, correct.
Do I get that right?
Yeah, so if you're looking to equipment, most of the data is process data, which is going to process control systems. But we are buying for decades smart instruments, but nobody is using the intelligence in the instruments. And,
right.
And that's what we're picking up, together with the validation of an equipment, which has to be executed on a regular basis to prove that your equipment is performing within the limits. And with that data, we can put a quality flag back on process data, which is going into data historians, which make more sense because everybody is using data, but it is unvalidated data right now.
Yeah. So in a sense, it's kind of like the Internet of Things applied in the oil and gas and heavy equipment industry.
Correct. That's correct.
And, you're collecting all this data and making sense of it, but you also have to be flexible because let's say there's different systems out there, say on a well, and you're downstream, upstream, you're midstream, You're everywhere, right? So if we looked at a well, there's different equipment that have their own systems, but they're not integrated, and that's where you come in. You call them silos. Explain that to us.
Correct. So what you have is different silos in the industry, which are not integrated with each other. And for instance, what we can do is we can compare well test data with real-time measurement data, with data which is stored in a data historian, with maintenance data, and then we can say, listen, hey, why are you spending so much money on a well which is at the end of the life cycle? Or why are you spending so much maintenance cost? Or your problem is not that the analyzer in the field, but it's your sampling handling system or something else. It gives you more insight.
And this is provided as software as a service, is that right?
Yeah, we can do both. We can supply a license or we can supply software as a service. So the industry is meeting right now different budgets. So we have CAPEX and OPEX, and sometimes it's difficult to justify a software system in initial phase. So we can move that cost to the operational expenditure part, and then we can deliver it as a service.
Okay, so you talked about we have smart equipment out there, but we don't have smart data. And you bring this diverse information, might be coming from 4 or 5 different systems.
Correct.
In a plant, for example,
Yeah.
processing plant, and you add a layer, you make it smart, you filter it, right? Is
Yeah.
quality a big issue?
Yeah, quality is a big issue because everybody wants to use the data. But if you have no sense if the data you're picking is reliable, because everybody is using the data for calculations, for instance, or modeling or simulation. But if you pick data which has high uncertainty, then the outcome will even be worse.
If it's worldwide, then it's all over the world, right? I mean, if it's on the internet, it's all over the world.
Correct.
Can you how you go to grocery stores and you can go to, say, a restaurant and they've got a little iPad and everything's right there. Is that the type of thing you're doing?
Yes.
You're providing,
Yeah.
if they have a phone even?
Yeah, it's web technology. That means that you're using a browser. That's what you need. And on every computer or laptop or iPad or phone, you have an internet browser. And that's all what you need. So the beauty is also you don't have to install any software because it's already there.
Wow. It's already there. Because it's sitting in, all they have to do is get you connected to the silos and
Yeah.
provide the data to you?
Correct, because we installed our software on a web server. What you're doing with your iPad and your iPhone and your laptop is connecting via HTML to your web server and get the data. So there's no software installation required. If you have other systems, you have to install on your client PC or on your some software, and that's not necessary in this case.
Walter, in our discussion earlier, you talked about how the industry itself is going through a life cycle of its knowledge-based retiring.
Correct.
And a lot of young people coming up. It seems to me that your type of technology would be very attractive to the young people coming into the system and would make them a whole lot smarter about what it is they're trying to accomplish. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah. So if you want to make this industry attractive for youngsters, you have to give them some modern tools, technology where they can work with. And the old way of working, having DOS programs in your plants or doing your maintenance on a bike and going into the plant itself, you can save more cost and time to do it remotely.
Interesting.
So, Walter, if you are dealing with these big systems and integration and bringing it all together, where are you selling into? Or do you have to go to the top and get the big boys, the Exxons, or do you go down to the smaller companies? What's your market there?
So we are an open system. We are flexible, so we can either for a small company or for a big company integrate a solution. So it starts with selling your technology in the earlier stages of a project. And that's the reason why I'm here in Houston, that most of the companies are here. Most of the projects are starting here. And that's why I have to be here to sell my technology in the early stage.
So you mentioned that, but it's your core company's in the Netherlands. You've now bringing it as an American company into the U.S.
Correct.
So this is not a startup. This is a pretty well-established worldwide. You just need to be in Texas, right?
Absolutely.
If you're going to be in the oil and gas business.
Absolutely, you're right. Yeah.
Where are you going to go from here?
So we grow the last 25 years organically, and my strategy right now is to buy companies, to grow by merger and acquisitions. And so that's my goal right now, looking to also companies who are complementary. What we do, put them together and bring a solution to the market.
So software companies?
Correct.
Software-based companies.
Yeah, correct.
Very interesting.
Or consulting companies.
Right. Got it. All right, folks, we've been talking to Walter Last, CEO of Hint. And Walter, this is very interesting. Thank you for joining us.
Okay, my
So
pleasure.
if somebody wants to learn more, where do they go?
Yeah, they can visit our website, www.hint-global.com, or they can shoot me an email, wlast@hint-global.com.
Okay, that's Hint, H-I-N-T, folks. Well, that wraps up this program. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Folks, we're going to pay some bills, and we're going to bring another expert and have some interesting conversations. So don't you go anywhere. We'll be right back.
There's much more where that came from.
At TexasBusinessRadio.com.